Hey everyone, Stephan here. In light of all the tragedies that we've seen occur out of all of this bullying and harassing and teasing and intimidation that we're seeing happening in high schools and on college campuses across the country, all of this has sort of compelled me to consider my own sort of coming of age as a gay man, um, and to consequently make this video. Um, I grew up in a small town, Springfield, Ohio, and for me, the teasing began at a very early age. From about as far back as I can remember, I was gay. And and with that also comes the memory of me being called a faggot every day because of it. Um, I just wasn't doing what the other little boys were supposed to do. Um, the rough and tough sort of stuff. I mean, I was rough and tough in my own way, but it wasn't in the right way. And I suffered because of that. Um, like I said, every day it was faggot, whether it was from the older kids, even peers my own age, because they were hearing it, at home and, from their brothers and sisters. The torment, was relentless. By the time I made it to high school, I would say by my sophomore year, I was already about 6 feet 3 inches tall. So here I am, this big black queen in this mostly white high school. I couldn't hide. I couldn't hide if I wanted to. But I didn't really want to. I didn't really want to hide. I don't really know where that spirit and that energy came from about me. Just, I don't know. Somewhere deep inside, just, I don't know. Um, but it was hard. Um, and I suffered the torment daily. I mean, it was a daily thing, whether it was faggot, queer, sissy, whatever. Um, my interest were sort of a contradiction of both my stature and my race. Um, because of my height and the fact that I was black, I was supposed to be into things like football and basketball. Um, the message that I got pretty early was, that's the route that black men are supposed to take to make it. Um, and something about that was just wrong to me. And so, my interests were things like the drama club and choir and the speech team. And I excelled in those things. Again, I suffered because of it. People just could not get their minds around it. And these weren't just the kids, these were also the other adults. I mean, coaches and teachers were just baffled by me. And I suffered. Daily ostracism, isolation, loneliness, you name it, I felt it. And the sad thing was that it didn't stop at high school. It didn't stop in the hallways. It extended into my home community, my neighborhood. I mean, I would go home and hear the ridicule from my mother, from neighbors, from passerbys on the streets. People would yell things out of their cars at me and throw things at me. I was spat upon. It was horrible. Um, I can't tell you the number of times I contemplated dropping out, even worse, committing suicide. I thought about taking my own life more than a handful of times. And by some miracle, I made it through. I graduated from high school. I got through that. I got through the war zone. Um, and I ended up going to college. I ended up traveling. I've traveled extensively. I've lived in some amazing cities. I've had the pleasure of meeting and knowing some amazing people. I'm getting ready to embark upon a graduate career. And, you ask me how I made it, and I don't know. I honestly don't. I like to give credit to someone really special to me. It's an author who is long since gone. His name was James Baldwin. And he was an out gay black man, fierce writer, and he wrote a collection of essays entitled Nobody Knows My Name. And I remember one night, 16 years old, junior year of high school, up until 3 o'clock in the morning, just, just wrapped up in his words. And I left that reading feeling mirrored and validated for the first time in my life. I felt like my presence and my voice had value. And I think that's what it was for me. So, to all of my fierce, fabulous children, I implore each and every one of you to find your way, to find that thing that works for you, that thing that no one's going to give you. They're not going to give it to you. You're going to have to be strong enough and remain tough enough to go out there and find it because it is there. There are people who came before us who have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of strength for us. Go find it because it's there. I'm not going to sit here and promise you a life of rose petals and puppy dog kisses and ice cream. But what I do promise you is that if you stick with yourself, that if you question everything around you, that if you remain true to yourself and never compromise who you are, I promise you, it gets better.